Alec Baldwin is now denying that he pulled the trigger of the gun that killed the cinematographer on the set of the movie Rust. The claim is made during a TV interview that aired on Thursday evening. It has a lot of people talking this morning. We want to bring in Dr. Duffy, a clinical psychologist, to assess the interview from your perspective. And Dr. Duffy, what were you initially thinking when you watched the video?
My initial thought was, this feels a little premature. That we're not quite ready. He's not quite ready to come out and really talk about this. He's stuck in a stage of grief and needs to kind of work through that before he can really take this on in a calm, reasoned, rational way. It feels like it was hurried up in a way that was unnecessary to me, to be honest.
Well, it seems as though, especially in light of the fact that he is so well known, that he's under a lot of pressure to speak out. He has spoken out publicly before this sit-down interview to reporters on the side of the road, actually, as those crews were following him and his family. But this happened a little over a month ago,
right,
and we've seen him get very emotional. We know that, again, people want to hear from him, but where is he technically, considering how much time has passed, on the timeline of typical grief?
Yeah, so I wish I could tell you that grief follows a nice, even timeline, but it's jagged and it's unpredictable. And so, you know, he probably is moving back and forth between these stages. Right now, though, he definitely seems like he is lost and stuck in that grief period. And to some degree, shock as well, that might be exacerbated by the fact that he did a television interview last night.
Right, right. And again, sitting down and speaking about something that is very intimate, very numbing. I can't even imagine being in his shoes right now. So he's receiving a lot of compassion, but he's also receiving a lot of criticism as a result of this interview. Some armory experts, gun experts are saying you should have known better. But what would you say if he was your client in terms of listening to some of the compassion and some of those critiques?
Yeah, so, you know, I think a lot of people who cause harm to somebody else or injure or kill somebody else are reluctant to seek help because they don't want to look as if they're trying to garner favor with the public, right? This situation in particular.
Right.
If you were my client, though, I would say, let's put the PR aside for now. Let's focus on this event and let's talk about the emotional elements of this event up to this day. The way to manage PTSD best is to do all that work so you can integrate it into your life moving forward in a healthy, productive way with empathy for yourself and for the victims as well.
What's a signal that it's time to talk about it? You're saying it's too early now, but
yeah,
what would be a good indication?
You know, I think if you were working with a therapist, he would recognize that there's this tipping point where you start to feel like, okay, I can breathe, I can move on. This doesn't consume my every thought. So there's this visceral feeling that people get when they are moving through the grief stages, and they're kind of at this point where it's like, okay, I can function pretty well now without falling apart. And I think when you realize, okay, I'm there, that might be the right time.
That might be the right time to talk. All right, Dr. Duffy, as always, good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.